9 o'clock. We do have a quorum. We do have one absent at the beginning of this meeting here, and I'll call this meeting to order. Number 2 is to deliberate and consider possible action regarding allowing the Cooke County Sheriff's Office to submit a grant application to the Motor Vehicle Crime Prevention Authority for the FY27 SB 224 Catalytic Converter Grant. All right, Sheriff, would you like to tell us what this is about?
And this is our third grant. And first off, I apologize that it didn't get on Monday's court. And then we have a May 8th deadline for submission, so we couldn't wait. But so this is grant number 3 that will, most of it will continue our flock cameras. So it's mostly for continued. However, there are some new storage in there, data storage, that's pretty valuable, that will help not only the cameras, but it also helps our evidence at the office. Will increase our data storage capability a good amount, and we won't have to buy that storage through general funds. So anyway, it just gives, I believe the actual agenda item says to give the county judge authority to sign for the grant. And so, yeah, we would just ask that you guys approve our request to apply for this grant and then give you the authority to sign the request.
That's a matching grant, right?
No, sir, it's not matching. It's 80/20.
Yeah.
Our part in the past, however long we've done it, I pay that 20% with forfeiture funds. So,
How much does that usually amount to? Do you remember?
well, I think last year we paid, our part was $21,000, I believe, last year. So that should tell you.
That's over 50,000 grant, somewhere in there.
Well, I mean,
We paid 20, that'd
20,000
be
was
100,000.
20%. So,
The 20% would be a $100,000 grant, wouldn't it?
Yeah, 105 or whatever. 104, yeah.
around that.
How long have you been, or have we been getting that?
I won't say it's third year.
Third year, okay.
But a little bit less than 3 years, because I mean it's not till October's, the next fiscal year, but so probably not quite 3 years. But
If I understand correctly, there's no taxpayer dollars expended at all.
there's no county taxpayer dollars
Right.
being spent in general fund. I'm not going to say now. Let me be totally transparent. I may come to you guys in June. I may, in our May budget meetings, I may ask the county out of general fund to pay $10,000 for some of the storage capabilities, because that not only helps flock, it's going to help our entire department with external data storage. Saves Darrell lots of money. So I may ask you guys, I may ask the county to fund $10,000, but if it's not possible, we'll pay the whole thing out of forfeiture. But I don't want to stand here and say up to date, there's been no county taxpayer dollars spent. Going forward in the FY27, like I said, I may ask $10,000, and if not, then we'll pay it.
So what, on these flock cameras, you came to us and asked about getting 4 of them put up, right? Now they're popping up other places.
So most of ours takes a DPS, has cameras everywhere as well. Not everywhere. Or typically the state crossings up in this area in North Texas. Most of them are ours. The second grant added to the number of cameras. And like I said, this grant doesn't add cameras. This grant period doesn't add cameras. We're just continuing what we have. Let me just take an opportunity to say to you, some people may think Big Brother. These cameras are in state right of way, some county right of way, taking legal photographs of license plates. Now, what they are looking for is anything entered into NCIC. And what goes into NCIC are all felonies, missing persons, whether it's a missing child or even adult. So things like that that are entered into the NCIC database nationwide, when that camera catches a plate, then it's going to alert us. So that's what we're looking for. It's a good thing. They're not capable of telling who's in the vehicle, male, female. So they're not capable of that. They are
Really,
capable.
I was reading some stuff on it where it said that actually facial recognition with those things.
The company itself, Flock, have said they will absolutely not be involved in any facial recognition.
So,
I mean, that's what, I'm not trying to,
Well, the company may not, but who all's getting that information from that company?
we can't control that.
Well, I mean, I'm just
I
saying,
mean, yeah,
they're trying to say it's not happening,
yeah.
but I don't know.
I can stand here and say to you honestly and openly, there's not a single bad thing about these cameras. They do great things. I'll bring you some stats of the things that they're catching and we're catching. They, like any tool, like any law enforcement or anywhere, can it be misused? It could. Somebody could probably, if they're willing to follow their ex-wife or current wife or whoever, use it for inappropriate reason. We're not going to do that. We're going to operate lawfully and legally, and if the company, number one, they're going to rip the cameras out if we use them inappropriately. So.
It's my understanding, they won't even provide facial recognition to any third party. They don't want any part of it.
But
Now,
typically, our cameras are looking for those NCIC things. The other day, we were looking for a felon that's been pretty hard to get a hold of, always on the move. And we had vehicle information. We entered that plate into our system, and we were able to find him and take him into custody. So.
It's got its places, it's just, you know, I just think about and saying that, I read, you know, Block sends us some emails all the time telling us different stuff, and that's where I read that. So I don't know, but,
And, you know, I welcome any of you to stop in and comm center or into one of our offices and look at the images that are produced. Naturally, it's a clear image of the plate and the rear of the car, so that we know if the plate says it should be on a Ford pickup, yet when it goes by it's on a Chevy Tahoe. I mean, it's going to show the rear of the vehicle.
so do you have somebody monitoring it all the time?
Well, it monitors itself. I mean, it's sitting there constantly taking photos of those plates, running. And so if a plate, like I said, is entered into that NCIC system, then it instantly comes into our dispatch.
Right.
And pops that camera image up on screen, once they know which way they're going, so.
So, you said it can read the plate and it knows if it's on that right vehicle. So if I swap my pickup plates and put it on the wife's Jeep, it would pick that up right automatically. Recognizes the vehicle and all.
It's not, no. I mean, it's not going to sit there and tell us that just occurred. If it hasn't been reported to law enforcement, if you went in and said, hey, somebody stole my license plate, it's gone, I need to get a new one to make, and if that plate is entered into the system, then yes, it's going to say stolen license plate. And it's going to show that it should have been issued to a Ford pickup and it's on a whatever.
But it doesn't.
It's not automatically going to sense that, no.
Right, okay.
If it's not a criminal activity reported in NCIC, it's not going to hit on it.
Okay, so I guess here last month, whenever that was, an officer was over here, I guess the guy called in, his front plate was stolen.
That was reported stolen.
And
It
when
got
he was
entered
coming
into
over
his
here-
system, and then when the guy drove through the reader captured it. They got notified. Had he not reported it, like if you put the wrong tags on the wrong vehicle,
Yeah.
because you didn't report one of them as stolen, it's not gonna hit, because that information's not into the block camera
Yeah.
system.
Yeah.
That's the way I understand it.
Maybe Matt has a fleet of personal vehicles and you just happen to have two vehicles that came due for registration and you went in and got new plates for both of them and you went home and you mistakenly put them on the wrong.
Right.
One was a Ford and one was a Chevy. You flopped them. It's never going to pick that up. It's not looking
No.
for that, right? So.
Okay.
And where you and I have to do something like that is on trailers.
Yeah.
Because we go register our trailers, we got 4 or 5 different trailers, and we stick the wrong tag on the wrong
Yeah.
trailer.
Or just have one tag and move it around, which is a common practice here.
Yeah, I just misunderstood you all ago because you're saying it, take that plate and recognize that it should be on a Ford or whatever, but it's not. Okay, that makes sense.
Has Cooke County personally benefited from this system in the past? Okay.
Well,
And
now, this system, you know, we're just kind of staying up with the times, right?
Right.
I mean, these cameras have been out in places for many years. Denton County's had one on I-35, it's not the county's, but probably been there for 20 years. So this isn't new. Maybe it's new for us within the county, but these things have existed for quite some time, and they can be extremely valuable, especially if you're working a serious crime within the county, like a homicide. Can be extremely valuable because it's going to have that data. And I asked this question: hey, how long it's taking these photos, storing that data? How long? So 30 days. If now the hits that are entered, and it's hitting and alerting us, that's a separate matter. But just taking the data, 30 days, and then it rolls, and that information's gone. So, but it can be very valuable. It was the other day for us, and to enter known data and then see if that vehicle was in the crime scene that we're looking at, was it there within this time? So, it can be extremely valuable.
You watch Metroplex News, and it seems like somebody that really uses it a whole lot, and that's why it's settlement, because you'll see them often finding a hit on a tag that's led to, either auto theft or murder suspect or things of that nature. And they highlight it, I think, intentionally. But again, if a person is not involved in criminal activity, there'd be no reason in the world for them to be concerned about it, you know. And I agree with you, there's way too much junk collected, we know that. But
Yeah.
this block camera is minuscule in the, you know, when you're entering data in a computer, somebody's collecting it. But having been to a class recently, I was impressed that they said they want no part of facial imaging. And most of the time when it's getting these plates, it's from the rear, I think. So,
Yeah.
you guys got any concerns, reservations? I'd make a motion that we approve the judge ratification on the contract to apply for the grant.
Second.
We have a motion, Commissioner Hollowell, that we approve my ratification of the grant application. We have a second, Commissioner Sicking. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? And there are none. Motion passes 4-0.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Move to adjourn, is that it?
That's it?
I'll make a
Well, no, we
motion.
gotta adjourn.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Well, all right then. Motion Commissioner Snuggs for
Or I can
adjournment.
send it to you.
Do I hear a second?
Whatever you want.
Nobody wants to
You just have to
adjourn,
sign
huh?
it real fast.
Somebody other than Snuggs made it, we might, but I mean.
Oh.
Second.
We have a second, Commissioner Hollowell. So, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? There are none. Motion passes 4-0. We are adjourned at 9:18.